Deputy Clerk, Controller of Planning, Mr. Keti Kwalira, Protocol Officer, Mr. Sunge Kalumo, Personal Assistant. Honorable Senators, in our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to them, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I wish them a fruitful visit. Thank you. I will allow 3 people to join in welcoming the visitors. Senator Wambua Enochio.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity to join you in welcoming the visiting delegations. Madam Speaker, I want to begin by welcoming the delegation from Machakos County. Madam Speaker, knowing very well that it's our neighbors, they are neighbors to your own in-laws, Madam Speaker. And I'm delighted to know that they represent the Health and Safety Department in the county government of Machakos. Just to encourage them to take their time to learn as much as they can for purposes of transfer of best practices when they go back to the assembly. And to the visiting delegation from Malawi, a really powerful delegation, I take this opportunity on my own behalf and on behalf of the great people of Kitui County to welcome you to the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. Feel most welcome, and when you go to Kajiado, I also wish that you'll be able to transfer best practices to them and also learn from them and transfer best practices to the Parliament of Malawi. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Commissioner. Senator Cheriot Aaron Gitgrui.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this chance to also join you in welcoming the visiting delegations. I take this chance, Madam Speaker, first of all to welcome the County Assembly of Machakos that is here on our study tour. Madam Speaker, I take a lot of pride in the work that we do here in Parliament, specifically our staff who year on year continue to share the experiences and knowledge of parliamentary work together with their colleagues from the county assemblies. Madam Speaker, this is a true testament, as I have said on many occasions, that as Parliament of Kenya we are blessed with the most competent of staff that you can find anywhere in terms of legislative work experience. And therefore, to the team that is visiting from Machakos, I wish them well in their tour and the things that they've come to study, that they'll go back and make Machakos County Assembly one of the best amongst our county assemblies in the country. Secondly, Madam Speaker, I want to welcome the delegation from Malawi. I had opportunity yesterday to interact with the team from the Parliamentary Service Commission of Malawi, led by Speaker Gotari. They joined us yesterday at a board meeting of the Center for Parliamentary Studies and Training. This is an institution that yourself, Madam Speaker, I'm sure you know so well, having been one of our regular facilitators for those of us who attended training there last time when you used to serve as a leading facilitator. So I'm glad to see them in good health as I continue to study many of the things that happen around the Parliament of Kenya. I'm glad because of the partnerships that we enjoy, especially with the rest of East African countries and the region at large, between Center for Parliamentary Studies and Training and those parliaments, Madam Speaker. Indeed, this is a confirmation that this institution, as we continue to nurture and invest in it the way we are doing as Parliament of Kenya, we shall continue to pass on and share, exchange knowledge and wisdom as members of the various parliaments of Africa. So I welcome this delegation. I wish them well as they travel to Kajiado and the things that they shall be doing in the remainder of their study. Very much welcome members from Malawi. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Senator Makori Beatrice Kwamboka.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me join my colleagues in welcoming the delegations which are here. The County Assembly of Machakos staff, welcome. Since you've come to benchmark during this COVID-19 season, you'll know how we work. You see in our chambers the way we are sitting there is social distance. So I wish you well when you are coming here, and you're most welcome. And to the Malawi Parliamentary Service Commission, feel welcome. During your trainings, we wish you well. And when you are going to Kajiado County, greet them for us. Since they are here, they are part of us. And when you go home, take our greetings to them. Welcome.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Kimani Wamatangi Paul.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity. I want to also join you in welcoming the two delegations. First, the delegation of the County Assembly of Machakos, the Committee on Health. Madam Speaker, to welcome them and inform them indeed that at this time when we have the COVID-19 pandemic, it is a time that we expect that indeed that the battle to ensure that this country not only normalizes, but we deal with the pandemic and put it behind us, that solution must start coming from county assemblies themselves, Madam Speaker. And I'm glad to see that the committee is here. I would be expecting that after their benchmarking experience, that we can start to see changes happening from Machakos County. We have lamented before, Madam Speaker, that the battle against COVID-19 especially has been left to national government as though the solutions to the cure and indeed especially following of protocols, ensuring that basic care is attended to, Madam Speaker, it has been made to look like it is only national government that can deal with the pandemic. And so I want to encourage all county assemblies, beginning with the county assembly that is here, that indeed we need to start seeing solutions from there. And Mr. Speaker, the second delegation from Malawi, and I'm glad to see that that they are led by the Speaker and also by commissioners. I have every reason to say that I believe that our Parliamentary Service Commission, all notwithstanding, can be able to share experiences about how, Madam Speaker, we should run good services in our assemblies, Madam Speaker. And I want to wish them well. In case, Madam Speaker, there are any experiences they may want to share with our commissioners. And I note that Commissioner Cheriot got an opportunity to welcome them. We'll be happy to hear what is different in how they conduct services to ensure that welfare is upheld for members of the Assembly in Malawi. I want to take the opportunity to welcome them on behalf of the leadership of the House, Madam Speaker, and wish them well in their stay here. We would also be glad, Madam Speaker, in the next round of visits, Madam Speaker, to hear that you also visited Malawi, and you could also share with us what did you find. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. Finally, Senator Mary Yene.
Madam Speaker, I want to join you and the rest of the House to welcome the two delegations, one from Machakos, which is my neighboring county, to this House, and wish them all the best as they learn. Issues of health are of very great importance to our counties, knowing that one, it's also a function of the county government. So if they can help us through the Committee of Health to be able to strengthen policies in our counties to help them improve the health status of our counties, citizens, that will be of great importance to the country. I also want to join you in welcoming the delegation from Malawi. And now that they are heading to our county, Kajiado, I want to welcome them in advance. I know they will be able to learn quite a lot. And I'm also happy that they are led by one Madam Speaker for that matter. So I want to congratulate them that they were able to elect one of our own, a female speaker for that matter. And I wish them the best as they stay in the country. And I want to welcome them to Kajiado on behalf of the Kajiado County government.
Thank you, Senator. Honorable Senators, I have another communication to make on the recommittal of petitions before more than one committee. Honorable Senators, you may recall that on Thursday, 15th July 2021, a half-day workshop for all senators to deliberate on the legislative agenda for the remaining time of the 12th Parliament was held. During the meeting, it was noted that there was a significant number of business pending before respective committees. One of the drawbacks identified was that a number of petitions had been referred to more than one committee, thereby reducing committee effectiveness in considering them. Honorable Senators, the following petitions have been brought to my attention as having been committed to more than one committee. 1. Petition by the residents of Uderi, Walari in Kiambu County concerning compensation for parcels of land acquired by the government to pave way for the construction of the standard gauge railway was referred to the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources and the Standing Committee on Roads Transportation. That was done on 30th May 2018. 2. Petition by the Governor of Nandi County, Honorable Stephen K. Sang, concerning landslides as a result of heavy rains in Nandi County, was referred to the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources and the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on the 7th July 2020. And the third one is a petition by Mr. Kimutai Arap Chelule and residents of Kericho County concerning Moroni land LR number 3977 and 3978 in Kericho County, which was referred to the Standing Committee on Land, Environment and Natural Resources and the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights. And also, a third committee was included, the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations. That was done on the 24th November 2020. Honorable Senators, upon consultation on the status of these petitions and the issues raised therein, I therefore direct as follows. 1. The petition by the residents of Uderi, Walari in Kiambu County concerning compensation for parcels of land acquired by the government to pave way for the construction of the standard gauge railway is hereby committed to the Standing Committee of Land, Environment and Natural Resources. 2. The petition by the Governor of Nandi County, Honorable Stephen K. Sang, concerning landslides as a result of heavy rains in Nandi County is hereby recommitted to the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations. 3. The petition by Mr. Kimutai Arap Chelule and residents of Kericho County concerning Moroni land LR number 3977 and 3978 in Kericho County is hereby recommitted to the Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights. Considering that the timeline stipulated in the standing orders has already been exhausted, I therefore direct that the respective standing committees do expedite the said petitions and table reports within the next 30 days. I thank you, Senators. Next order.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Honorable Senators, we have one paper by the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. I don't see the Chair. Vice Chair, you are here. Senator Murkomen? Oh, who is the Vice Chair? Oh, thank you. Sir. Thank you, Senator.
Madam Speaker, for your record, your student is the Vice Chair of Agriculture.
Thank you.
So, Madam Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate. Today, the 22nd July, 2021. A report of the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries on the Coffee Bill, Senate Bills number 22 of 2020. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator Wambua. Next order.
Order number 6, notice of motion.
Notices of motion. Senator Sylvia Kasanga.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I beg to give notice of motion that aware that according to the World Health Organization, globally 10% of pregnant women and 13% of women who have just given birth experience a mental condition referred to as perinatal depression, which is higher in developing countries with 15.6% during pregnancy and 19.8% after childbirth. Further aware that women who go through stillbirth and those who lose their children during the delivery are taken to the general maternity ward where other mothers with healthy babies are recovering, causing them mental anguish and adversely impacting their mental health. Noting that integrating mental health care into primary health care settings requires training in psychiatric care and providing consulting support to primary providers, considering that there are not enough mental health care providers to meet the current and growing need for mental health services, appreciating that the Health Act under Section 6(1)(b) provides that every person has a right to reproductive health care, which includes the right to access to appropriate health care services that will enable mothers go safely through pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum period, which should include the integration of mental health to perinatal care as recommended by the National Mental Health Task Force in its Mental Health and Well-being Towards Happiness and National Prosperity Report. Now, therefore, the Senate urges the Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Council of Governors, to ensure that all county maternal health services allocate a separate ward for recovery for mothers who have gone through stillbirth and those who have lost their babies during delivery. Secondly is facilitate continuous mental health training and provision of counseling support in the perinatal wards for all primary care providers in all counties. And third, establish counseling services to all county health facilities, providing counseling therapy to mothers who lose their children through a miscarriage, during delivery, or through stillbirth. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Kasanga. Honorable members, please console in low tones as we go to the next order. And please, members, we are going to vote today, so don't go far. Thank you.
Order number 7, statements.
Statements. Honorable Senator, statements pursuant to Standing Order 48-1, Senator Samson Cherargei. I don't see, is he online? Senator Cherargei, is he online? And we wait for Senator Cherargei. We have the second statement by Senator Dr. Michael Mbito. Senator Mbito, is he online? Senator Mbito, did he delegate to anybody? This is 48-1, which is his own personal statement. Yeah. The third one is from Senator Halake Abshiro. The third statement is from Senator Abshiro. Honorable Senators, while we will defer the three for now, and there's a statement under 52-1 from the Senate Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, if you can protect us from the members who are consulting very, very loudly.
Honorable Senators, please consult in low tones because the leader is making a very important communication.
Madam Speaker, let me also begin by congratulating Senator Olekina. I've seen him today dressed like a senator. And Madam Speaker, I haven't even finished talking, Madam Speaker.
As a point of order from Senator Olekina, initially you were requested to speak, so I thought you wanted to
Madam Speaker,
congratulate also.
Madam Speaker, I don't mind being congratulated, but the majority leader is just jealous because I look good in anything, in my traditional clothes, in a suit, and I bet you even naked I look good. So, Madam Speaker, when he said that I look like a senator, it begs the question, he's actually challenging your position because you ruled. I'm on a point of order. He ruled, Mr. Speaker, or Madam Speaker ruled that I was properly dressed in any form, you know? So you need to rule him out of order. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Murgomen.
Madam Speaker, have you heard Senator Olekina make his even situation worse? Madam Chair, we don't have an issue, and I understand where the majority leader is coming from, because we don't have an issue with traditional dress of Senator Olekina, because that dress looks like women skirt, Madam Speaker. In most cases, we have had to warn Senator Olekina to sit properly, because women are used to dressing in a particular way, Madam Chair. And Madam Chair, to make the situation worse, Senator Olekina, Madam Speaker, is insisting that even being naked is properly dressed as a senator. Our standing order, I'm on a point of order. Madam Speaker, the reason why the standing orders are very clear on how a senator should dress is because there is a prescribed dress code for all senators, and the majority leader is perfectly in order to recognize the fact that today we will not struggle to ensure that Senator Olekina sits properly.
No.
Madam Speaker,
I have not given you.
Madam Speaker, I need to respond.
I will give you.
Okay,
I'll give
fair
you a
enough.
chance. Senator Ali. Senator Ali Abdullahi. Then I'll come.
Leader is completely out of order.
Who are you to determine?
I'm here because the fact is that the speaker said that Senator Olekina was properly dressed when he was wearing his traditional Maasai dress. And the worst of all, he is saying that he was dressed like a woman. That means that he has no respect for our women. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, Senator Murkomen should apologize to the women of this country and international all. That is disregarding our mothers and our sisters and our wives. That is wrong, and he should apologize, Madam Speaker.
Honorable, other members, Senator Mary Yane, and she knows how
Madam
women and men
Speaker,
dress in those clothes.
Madam Speaker, I was asking whether the former majority leader is in order to indicate that Olekina was wearing like a Maasai woman, while Olekina was wearing in his own real Maasai man attire. Is he challenging our dressing as Maasais, that we don't differentiate a man clothing and women's clothing in our attire?
Honorable Naomi Matisia, finally, then I will rule on this.
Madam Speaker, my point of information is that to the majority leader, please, if with due respect, why can't we respect women in this case? We are here, we are well dressed, and when Olekina is dressed in his traditional wear, do not compare it to women. That is their own distinct wearing, dressing, and we do not need to mix issues here. We are women here, Madam Speaker, and we are dressed well. When Olekina comes here, Madam Speaker, with his traditional dress, he should be respected.
Honorable members, let me rule, because this thing had been ruled before. I don't want us to dwell on it. It was debated and it was passed. If you are not familiar with what women and men, how women and men dress culturally, we will not blame you, but we will ask you to go and learn. And then for the leader of majority, he has grown in a tradition where the standing orders, actually the problem was that we didn't change our standing orders. And the majority leader he's really a reader of standing orders. And he has always said we stick to our standing orders until we change. So I will not rule him out of order because he is following that. What we need to do, we have the speaker's rules which were used on that day, and that's why I'm saying if you read the standing orders, then you fall on the side of the leader of majority. If you use the speaker's rules and what was ruled on that day, it was acceptable, but there is some of us don't see the difference between whether the dressing belongs to male or female. So I think we need to excuse ourselves on that one. As leader of majority, continue. I have already ruled. I have already ruled, please. No, let's not go back because we have a very huge agenda and we are going to do voting shortly. You want to withdraw and apologize? No, sorry, honorable members. Please take your seats, honorable members. Honorable members, I didn't rule Murkomen out of order for this one fact, that a number of us do not even know the cultural dressing, yes, whether Maasai the cultural dressing of Maasai, whether it looks like women or looking like men, some of us don't know. And that's why I'm saying, but we are not going to explain in the house. I would like to recommend strongly, members, that we learn from our cultural dressings. Let's learn how people dress. so that we all know which cultures dress how. Thank you, Senator. Leader of Majority, please.
Madam Chair. Yes, Madam Chair, I can be informed.
Madam Chair, I just wanted to inform Senator Pokisho, because he's the one who put me into this trouble, that I did not say in any way that dressing like a lady is a wrong thing. In fact, it's the best thing ever to dress like a lady. What I said to Senator, and I did not say I do not know how Maasai's dress. Maasai's like Sengwers, Madam Chair, and Marakwets and Kayos, dress the same way traditionally. What I only said is that in dressing in a particular manner, the way Senator of Olekina dressed, he must learn to sit also in a manner dictated by that kind of dressing. That's all I said, Madam Chair. And women know how to do it.
Now, why is that information?
Okay, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, can we proceed?
Senator Olekina. And I hope we are closing it now.
Madam Speaker, you know, the biggest problem we have as leaders is that we allow the colonial mentality to dictate our daily moves. Madam Speaker, when the former majority leader stands on the floor of the Senate of the Republic of Kenya and says that a senator, a distinguished senator, elected by the people of Kenya, sits like a woman and is a male, he's completely out of this world. Madam Speaker, yes he did. Yes he did. And Madam Speaker, he needs to apologize and withdraw that, Madam Speaker, because it is wrong. Because when I stand here, I represent my people. No, you did. Madam Speaker, he did. So, Madam Speaker, he needs to apologize and withdraw.
Please address the chair.
Madam Speaker, as we let this issue rest, we must protect our cultures. One of the reasons why we are here is because we are an African country and we must behave like an African country. We cannot allow this colonial mentality to dictate us. We can't, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Senator.
So, Madam Speaker, I beseech you to rule him completely out of order. You know, and even if it was in my jungle, I would even throw him out of the house.
Senator Pokisho, please don't allow more.
Madam Speaker, I had very good intentions.
Order members.
Speaker,
Order members.
yes, I had very good intentions in congratulating my friend.
Yeah.
Whether he's dressed in the other attire or this one, I normally congratulate him. So this was nothing new to congratulate him. And I think also that without getting into controversies, I think the idea that Murkomen is trying to make, you will understand one day. You will understand one day. Let me just move on, Madam Speaker. Pursuant to Standing Order number 52-1, I hereby present to the Senate the business of the House for the week commencing 27th July 2021. Madam Speaker, on Tuesday, 27th July 2021, the Senate Business Committee, SBC, will meet to schedule the business of the Senate for the week. Madam Speaker, there's a problem with Muranga and Kiambu.
Order, senators. Order, Senator. Senator of Muranga, Kiambu, and
Kitui.
Please.
Madam Speaker, on Tuesday, 27th July 2021, the Senate Business Committee, SBC, will meet to schedule the business of the Senate for the week. Subject to further directions of the SBC, the Senate will on Tuesday, 27th July 2021, consider bills at the first reading and second reading stages and motions and reports of various standing committees as contained in the program of the Senate business. The Senate will also continue with considering the business that will not be concluded in today's order paper. On Wednesday, 28th July 2021, the Senate will continue the business that will not be concluded on Tuesday, 27th July 2021, and any other business scheduled by the Senate Business Committee, while on Thursday, 29th July 2021, the Senate will continue with the business that will not be concluded on Wednesday and any other business. Madam Speaker, we have a total of 33 bills due for second reading. 5 of these bills are due for division and have been listed in today's order paper. These are: 1, the Community Health Services Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2020. 2, the Investment Promotions Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2021. And 3, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendments Bill, Senate Bills number 33 of 2020. 4, the National Flag Emblems and Names Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 36 of 2020. And 5, the Coffee Bill, Senate Bills number 22 of 2020. In addition, there are 3 bills that at the Committee of the Whole stage. These are: 1, the Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 11 of 2020. The Mental Health Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 28 of 2020, and 3, the Wildlife Conservation Management Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 30 of 2020. Mr. Speaker, I take this opportunity to report to the House that the Senate Business Committee has considered the framework agreed upon during the half-day workshop held on Thursday, 15th July 2021, to deliberate on pending business before the Senate and its committees, and will shortly take the necessary steps to implement the resolution agreed upon, which at the appropriate time will be communicated to the House. In the meantime, I urge all senators to avail themselves for division of the aforesaid bills at the second reading stage. I also urge respective movers and responsible standing as committee chairpersons to be available in the House for the Committee of the Whole, for the bills that have been scheduled in the Committee of the Whole. Allow me, Madam Speaker, to also take this opportunity to remind chairpersons of standing committees to hasten consideration and public participation engagement on all bills committed to their respective committees. Madam Speaker, I thank you and hereby lay the statement on the table of the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. May I remind senators in the House and those online that we are going to start voting shortly. And before that, I had deferred statements under 48.1, but I see Senator Halake Abshiro is here. Senator Abshiro, are you making a statement now? Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 48.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of Information and Technology on the Loon Balloon Solar-Powered Internet Access Project in Kenya. In the statement, Madam Speaker, the committee should appraise the Senate on the status and location of the 35 Loon balloons launched by Loon Technology in partnership with Telkom Kenya in July of 2020. State the reasons for the reported shutdown or discontinuation of this project. Outline the measures, if any, that the Ministry of Information, Communication and Technology has put in place to provide internet connectivity and 2G coverage to remote areas in northern Kenya, which was supposed to have been taken care of by the Loon balloons, Madam Speaker, and tell the House what has happened to date and where we are with the connectivity for northern Kenya, especially in Isiolo, where we don't have even the basic 2G, and the balloons that are supposed to overfly these hard-to-reach regions have now been discontinued. We would like this House to be appraised of the same. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator. The last statement is from Senator Fatuma Dulo. That was approved, although it's not on the list.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise pursuant to Standing Order 48.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations regarding the heightened insecurity along the border between Isiolo and Wajir counties. Madam Speaker, over the past 2 months, at least 20 individuals have been killed and several others injured over a series of armed clashes that has occurred within Isiolo borders. Remarkably, children have been injured and some killed by gunmen during incidents reported as close as within the borders. Of the casualties, 6 were killed in Urur, 5 were killed and 2 others injured in Madawale. 1 fatality and 1 injury was reported in Kotikore and another individual was killed in Halango. Madam Speaker, 6 individuals were killed during the recent attack in Madawale, Isiolo County on 19th June 2021, where boreholes were also destroyed as this was the primary source of water in the area. It can be construed that the assailant intended to displace residents and subsequently encroach on our land. In the most recent attack, on the evening of the 19th July 2021, a total of 4 individuals were killed during 2 separate attacks in Yamicha and Urura Merchi. Another 300 heads of livestock were stolen. Consequently, residents have fled from their homes in several areas, including Madawale, Kotikore, Dadachbasa, Dakie, Dadachlafe, Malkagala, Karkabo and Korbesa. This is particularly concerning ahead of schools opening, as more than 10 schools have been affected. The current conflict has displaced a distinct deviation from traditional cattle rustling and instead exhibited clear signs of expansionist strategies. In light of this, we request the urgent establishment of additional police posts in the affected areas, as well as the deployment of RDU officers to affected areas, particularly Amicha, Basa, Kom, Eldera, Escort, Lososio, Dusot, Madawale and Kamanga. Residents will also greatly benefit from the settling up of the NPR to complement security apparatus and improve access to security services. Madam Speaker, the lack of clear administrative boundaries has resulted in the dispute being prolonged over several years, claiming hundreds of lives and the loss of livelihood. In the statement, appraised the Senate on the measures the national government has put in place to respond to the current insecurity along the border between Isiolo and Wajir counties, giving clear timelines. Number 2, state whether the communities along the said borders have been involved in public participation in seeking solution to the boundary disputes. Number 3, state the reasons for the delay in resolving boundary disputes along Isiolo borders while providing the targeted interventions in strengthening security ahead of school reopening. Indicate Isiolo County's exact boundary, particularly along Isiolo prone to conflict, including those bordering Isiolo and Wajir. Finally, clarify whether Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government has established additional police posts in the affected areas or deployed RDU and provide NPR to complement security apparatus to affected areas of the conflict. I thank you.
Thank you, Senator. That brings us to the end of the statement time. Next order.
Order number 8, the Public-Private Partnerships Bill, National Assembly Bill number 6 of 2021, first reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the participation of the private sector in the financing, construction, development, operation or maintenance of infrastructure or development projects through public-private partnerships to streamline the regulatory framework for public-private partnerships, to repeal the Public-Private Partnerships Act of 2013 and for connected purposes.
Thank you, Senator. I'm looking for the whips of both sides. Yes. Leader of majority. Leader of majority, where's your whip? We start. Okay. Okay, next order. Next order, clerk.
Five bills at second reading. Perhaps we can read them together.
Yeah.
Then when we start voting,
we'll do it. Yeah.
we'll do it, but separately.
Order, members, next order.
Order number 9, the Community Health Services Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2020, second reading, division.
Next order.
Order number 10, the Investment Promotion Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2021, second reading, division.
Thank you. Next order.
Order number 11, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 33 of 2020, second reading, division.
Next order.
Order number 12, the National Flag, Emblems and Names Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 36 of 2020, second reading, division.
Next order.
Order number 13, the Coffee Bill, Senate Bills number 22 of 2020, second reading, division.
Honorable Senators, you have noted that we have 5 divisions. I would like to ask the members who are online, as well as the members who are here, to please come on in the next 5 minutes after the bell, so that we vote, and we'll vote for all of them at the same time. Can we now have the bell rung for 5 minutes? take your seats now. Take your seats, honorable senators. Order, members, order. Please take your seats. We want to start voting now. Honorable senators. Order, order, order. Order. Honorable senators, everybody take your seat. Take your seats. Honorable senators, take your seats. Honorable senators, we are going to start the voting, and as I said, we are going to vote for 5 bills, one after the other, and I want to request the members also who are online not to leave until we finish this. It's going to be a very short exercise if we move fast. Therefore, I'll be putting the question to each one of them, and I want to start with the first one. I now put the question that the Community Health Services Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2020, be read a second time. Our voting will be roll call voting. Whips, can we have tellers?
Madam Speaker, we are requesting you, if you allow, that we vote 5 times.
We vote?
We vote, you call the orders, we vote once. Thank you.
Honorable members, whips, can you identify the whips? Can you identify your tellers? Thank you, and I'm going to read all. I'm going to put a question on all 5 so that you vote 5 times. Yes, Commissioner.
Madam Speaker, is it not possible for us who are in the chamber to vote electronically? Then those online to be the ones to do the roll call vote. Because why do we invest in a system that we cannot use? Unless maybe there's a challenge with the system.
Yeah, honorable senators, it will not be possible because for us to use the system, we must input. The earlier request from the whip, minority whip, was that we read all the questions and we vote 5 times, which is more attractive and better. Just make sure that we maintain the numbers out there for those who are voting online. So the second question I would like to put is, I now put a question that the Investment Promotion Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2021, be now read a second time. The third bill, I now put a question that the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 33 of 2020, be read a second time. Fourth one, I would like to put a question that the National Flag, Emblems and Names Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 36 of 2020, be read a second time. The fifth one, I would like to put a question that the coffee bill, Senate Bills number 22 of 2020 be read a second time. We will do our voting by roll call for both those inside here and those who are outside, and we shall start right away. So you vote 5 times. You vote 5 times.
Roll call division. Senator Adandulo Fatuma, Isiolo County.
Isiolo County, Abshiro.
May I have the mic? On behalf of Isiolo delegation, I vote yes for the 5 bills that are under consideration, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Senator Ali Abdullah Ibrahim, Wajir County.
I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Senator Boy Issa Juma, Kwale County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Thank you.
Senator Cherarkei Samson Kiprotich, Nandi County.
For the members online, please show us your faces.
Senator Cheriot Aaron Kipkirui, Kericho County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all the 5 red bills.
Please check the system. The people online are saying they're not getting the sound clearly. Okay.
Senator Haji Abdul Mohammed, Garissa County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes. Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all 5 bills.
Senator Hargura Godana, Marsabit County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Senator Imana Malaki Charles Ekal, Turkana County. Senator Mudama Agnes Kavindu, Machakos County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all 5.
Senator Kajwang Moses Otieno, Homa Bay County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes on all the 5.
Thank you. We can see your face now.
Senator Kamar Margaret Jepkoech, Uasin County.
I vote yes for all 5.
Senator Kangata Irongo, Muranga County.
Delegate.
Yes for the 5 bills.
Senator Haniri George, Vihiga County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all the 5.
He's mute. You can't hear.
I think we need to work on the sound, please. He has voted yes, but then the control room must take care of that. for the next.
Senator Kibiru Charles Rubenson, Kirinyaga County.
Senator Kibiru? No.
Senator Kihika Susan Wakarura, Nakuru County. Senator Kimani Wamatangi Paul, Kiambu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all 5.
Senator Kindiki Kidhure, Tharaka Nithi County. Senator Kirinyaga Ephraim Mwangi, Nyeri County.
Hello, can you hear me, Madam Speaker?
Yes, we can hear you, although we cannot see you.
Okay, anyway, I vote yes for all the 5 bills.
Okay.
Senator,
I think we are having a problem with the control room.
Yeah, it looks, because I've been trying to come up.
That is Senator Ibrahim Maina.
Yes.
Senator Ibrahim Maina, can you vote?
Yes, Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Thank you.
Senator Langat Christopher Andrew, Bomet County.
I fought.
Yes. Madam Speaker.
I think Madam Speaker, we have the mic.
Give us a few minutes. Looks like the mic is
Madam Speaker, I thought yes for the whole 5.
You have to correct my pronunciation. I told you. That's the matter.
Let's do that. Senator Leleguel Tundesi, Samburu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Senator Linturi Franklin Mivika, Meru County. He voted yes for. Senator Loitiptip Anwar, Lamu County. Senator Mathayo Stewart Mwachiru, Kilifi County. Senator Mahmoud Mohamed Maalim, Mandera County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all the 5 bills.
Senator Malala Cleophas Wahungu, Kakamega County. Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County. Senator Mbogo George Ochilo Ayako, Migori County. Senator Mogeni Eric Okongo, Nyamira County. Mike.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Senator Moi Gideon Kipsielei Towet, Baringo County. Senator Mpai Philip Salau, Kajiado County.
I vote yes for the 5 on behalf of Kajiado delegation.
Senator Murkomen Onesimus Kipchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Senator Mtula Kilonzo Jr., Makueni County.
I vote yes for all 5.
Senator Mwangi Paul Githiomi, Nyandarua County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Senator Mwaruma Jones Mashushe, Taita Taveta County. Senator Mwaruma Jones Mashushe, Taita Taveta County.
Senator Marume, you are online. Okay, we'll come back again.
Senator Munihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County. Senator Nderitu John Kinyua, Laikipia County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Senator Ndwiga Peter Njeru, Embu County.
Madam Speaker, can you hear me? I vote.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me, Madam
Although we can see you, we can hear you.
Yes, I vote yes for the 5.
Thank you.
Senator Olekina Ledama, Narok County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all the 5 bills.
Senator Ongeri Samson Kegengo, Kisii County. The virtual.
Please vote.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all the 5 bills. Can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Senator Orengo James, Siaya County. Mike is not working.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Thank you.
Senator Outa Frederick Otieno, Kisumu County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Senator Pogisio Samuel Osuron, West Pokot County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all 5 bills.
Senator Sakaja Johnson Aga, Nairobi County.
Madam Speaker, having consulted the delegation of Nairobi, led by Senator Kwamboka, we vote yes for all the 5.
Senator Wako Sitwila Amos, Busia County. Senator Wambua Enokio, Kitui County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for all the 5 bills.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County. Senator Wetangula Moses Masika, Bungoma County. So tutarudia one more time. Senator Cherarkei Samson Kiprotich, Nandi County. Senator Imana Malaki Charles Ekal, Turkana County. Senator Kibiru Charles Rubenson, Kirinyaga County. Senator Kihika Susan Wakarura, Nakuru County. Senator Kindiki Kidure, Tharaka Nithi County. Senator Linturi Franklin Mithika, Meru County. Senator Lloyd Tip Tip Anwar, Lamu County. Senator Mazayo Stewart Machiru, Kilifi County. Senator Malala Cleophas Wahungu, Kakamega County. Senator Mbito Michael Malinga, Trans Nzoia County. Senator Mbogo George Ochilo Ayako, Migori County. Senator Moi Gideon Kipsielei, Baringo County. Who is on?
I vote yes.
Thank you.
On all.
On all 5? Senator Moi, vote yes
vote
for
yes.
all the 5. For all the 5?
Yes, for all the 5.
Okay, thank you.
Senator Murkomen Onesmus Kipchumba, Elgeyo Marakwet County. Senator Maruma Jones Mwashushe, Taita Taveta County. Senator Maruma to vote.
Senator of Taita Taveta, please vote. We can see you online. Yeah, the system is messing. Please try again. Senator Maruma. You can't see.
Oh, it's not on.
They can't, yeah.
Senator Wilson here quickly.
Okay. Senator Mwinyihaji Mohamed Faki, Mombasa County.
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5 bills.
Thank you. Now we can see your face. We are good.
Hello?
Thank you. We have seen you, Senator Mwinyi.
Thank you.
Senator Wako Sitwila Amos, Busia County.
Come quickly. I need to get to the Senate. I'm on the phone up.
Senator Wario Golich Juma, Tana River County. Senator Wetangula Moses Masika, Bungoma County. Sorry? Who's waiting? Senator Mwaruma Jones Mwashushe, Taita Taveta County.
Is Mwashushe online?
Yes, I'm online, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
Can I vote?
Mwashushe, please vote. Although we are seeing the picture of...
Madam Speaker, I vote yes for the 5.
Okay, thank you. Yes, now there you
I
are.
vote yes for the 5.
Now
Yes.
we have seen you, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The results, yes. You are communicating the result of the division and the commission is big, applications, then it will give you the eyes 32 to the eyes 32. Yes. It is excellent. Then now, sometimes it is the title. A bit financial problems, blah, and component process. Then now you go to the next one, you repeat. And children, the coffee. Yeah.
Zan is not yet. So maybe
you can start the committee with the boss. That's the letter. Yeah. Then to the next. For that, it was supposed to be 4. Let's see. 4. And next there's no problem. Let's leave this one first. So it was the level to come.
Yes, the level was supposed to come in between the two of us. We have closed the statements.
Oh, statements is done?
Yeah.
When it?
Tuesday. Is it more than one?
It's a moving on. Let's see.
Have those people.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you said that's coming.
Yeah.
Because how he's looking for the budget. So he has to 4 weeks.
So that he
So he can
gives you a complete sacrifice. You can be given something. And you still have something for monthly.
Yeah, for a month.
Yeah. I'm telling you, even if it is come a moment. That's good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be giving you one by one. Now the first one is marked by the senators, but the subsequent ones, these are the results. Yes, 32 and 0. This is the first bill, community health, but the rest they've not been marked, but they've signed the results.
Honorable Senators, please resume your seats so we can, I can announce the results of the votes. The first vote, under Standing Order 9, on the Community Health Services Bill, Senate Bills number 34 of 2020. Ayes 32, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide a framework for the delivery of community health services, to promote access to primary health care services at the community level and reduce health disparities between counties, to provide for the training and capacity building of the community health workforce and for connected purposes.
Thank you. The next vote, Honorable Senators, is on the Investment Promotion Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 2 of 2021, and the results are as follows. Ayes 32, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Investment Promotion Act and for connected purposes.
The next one, Honorable Senators, is on the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 33 of 2020. Ayes 32, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act to provide a structured mechanism through which Parliament is able to receive reports from public officers on the resolutions passed by Parliament and for connected purposes.
The next bill, Honorable Senators, is the National Flag Emblems and Names Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 36 of 2020. Ayes 32, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the National Flag, Emblems and Names Act and for connected purposes.
The next bill, Honorable Senators, is the Coffee Bill, Senate Bills number 22 of 2020. The votes are as follows. Ayes 32, nays 0, abstentions 0. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the regulation, development and promotion of the coffee industry and for connected purposes.
Thank you, Honorable Senators. For the convenience of the House, I defer orders number 14, order number 15, and order number 16. Next order.
Order number 17, the Basic Education Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 4 of 2021, second reading. And seconded, and question to be asked. So the floor is open.
Honorable members, the bill on the Basic Education Amendment had been moved, it had been seconded. So it is now ready for debate, and I see the Senator for Jandarua, Senator Mwangi Paul Kidiomi. Was that the one?
Let's say something.
On this bill, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker.
Okay, let me see, give Senator Olekina Ledama, then you'll come in after. I didn't realize it was you were
Madam
present
Speaker.
for something else.
Madam Speaker, I thank you. I rise to support this bill, which is an amendment to the Basic Education Bill 2020, which has been sponsored by my good sister, Senator Kwamboka. Madam Speaker, from the onset, let me go on record by congratulating Senator Kwamboka for having really thought out clearly on the issue of nutritional values for our children. Madam Speaker, when most of us were growing up, we didn't have to worry about our own nutritional values, particularly vitamin D in school, because the then President of Kenya, President Daniel Toroitich arap Moi, ensured that all school-going children had a packet of milk. Madam Speaker, when I think about the challenges that our children go through during this era, I really feel sorry for them, and particularly for those children who live in rural areas. Children who walk to school 5 kilometers, or even some of them who live in the schools. They get their tea in the morning, or maybe porridge, and then they come and get their lunch. So really thinking about reintroducing milk in the schools does not only build into the nutritional value of our children, but it also ensures that businesses, local businesses, can be able to thrive. Madam Speaker, everyone is talking about a different form of economics theories, bottom up, middle up, top down. But I think the key most important thing is that we all must start thinking local. And when I saw this bill, this amendment, I thought about our local farmers. Madam Speaker, if you think about the milk industry, which I can, confidently speak about, this is a sector that has been really undervalued. If you think about most schools in this country that have land, those schools can actually even have a small dairy plant in the schools. The Ministry of Education can be able to support those schools, set up a small dairy farm, invest in pasture, and ensure that at least those children can be able to get milk. Value addition is very key. Madam Speaker, Narok County, we produce 300,000 liters of milk on a daily basis. One day, Madam Speaker, if you just sit along the road from Narok to Maimahio, and you start counting the number of trucks that transport milk from Narok County all the way to Ruiru or to Nairobi, you will not come down with less than 50 big trucks. And these are trucks that transport over 20,000 liters of milk per truck. You'll find others, the least will transport about 10,000 liters of milk. This milk is normally collected from small-scale farmers at a price of about 26 shillings to 42 shillings. You will see this. And then it is brought in and a value is added. Now, what if we look back and we say, let us invest in this industry, but to promote our children? You will see mothers, particularly in the Maasai community, who take their small 2 liters or 3 liters of milk to the market to go and sell per cup. you will see them come together, and county governments will even have an interest to be able to bring these women together and help them be able to sell this milk. Madam Speaker, when you talk about different health benefits for milk, you will find that there are some children who may want to take milk, but because of them being lactose intolerant, they may not be able to do that. But in this case, when we legislate in terms of ensuring that children have milk in the schools, we now begin adding value where you can actually be able to buy in a very small equipment and you remove the lactose. You know, you just play with the glucose and the lactose, you remove the lactose, and you're able to still give those children milk. So, Madam Speaker, this is a bill, an amendment that I really hope that we can support, and it does not just become one of those bills where we come here, we spend a lot of time, it goes into the National Assembly, but because of interest, it does not proceed into becoming an act of parliament. This bill, Madam Speaker, will not only benefit school-going children, but it will build our local economies. When I speak here, Madam Speaker, I'm a farmer. I invest in dairy farming. My sector is to think about adding value. You know, this, instead of counties buying trucks and saying they are transporting cows, or instead of counties, buying cows. I always say, Madam Speaker, government should stay out of business. Government must stay out of business completely. I'm a firm believer of a small government. Government should create an environment that will be able to encourage small-scale farmers to be able to come together and then, invest in those sectors. But now when government start doing this, buying equipment to package milk, then you wonder what are small-scale farmers going to do? So, Madam Speaker, I think what is important, and I'd like to encourage my dear sister, maybe in the third reading, or maybe in the committee of the whole, she can bring in some small amendment into this bill that we add value. You find a way to invest more in cooperatives, bring in a cooperative aspect in it, and then also encourage county governments to play a key role especially in the early childhood education. Because when you look at in terms of the services that have been devolved when it comes to education, it's really on basic education. So if the county government can be able to rally up and bring all the small-scale farmers, bring them together, support them, even come up with schemes. The World Bank always come up with very interesting, Kenya Development Support Program, which is funded by the World Bank. These are some of the areas that we should be looking at. And Madam Speaker, I'm aware that I think the former Governor Munya, which ministry does he? Agriculture Ministry. Agriculture Ministry is planning to invest billions of shillings in the dairy sector. So why not look at ways to be able to bring these small-scale farmers, put them together and say, for you now, we are going to work together to set up a plant. And this plant will be specifically to deliver milk to school children. You can package the milk at 250 ml. And the packaging is not very expensive. Instead of investing in government running it, you empower these small-scale farmers. One of my biggest pet peeves, Madam Speaker, is that sometimes in this house, we pass legislation, but we don't follow to be able to implement them. One of the bills that we passed here, and it's now an act of parliament, is the warehousing receipt bill. When you travel to Narok during the harvesting season now, in August, you will see on the side of the roads, farmers will be they'll be putting big canvases, and they will be using it to dry their own wheat. If we were really serious and we follow up in terms of implementation, and if the executive is very serious to implement legislation that comes out of this house, they should have begun by putting together these cooperative groups and investing in those warehousing receipts. So, Madam Speaker, I really would like to beseech all my colleagues that even if this will be the only bill that the president will sign before he retires, this is something which we really need to push. You know, we are pushing it not because of our own personal interest. You know, some of us can be clever. We can be able to add more value and sell the milk as butter. But for the benefit of those young mothers, those Maasai women, those Kalenjin women, those Kikuyu women who have got 1 or 2 dairy cow or who have got free-range cows. And by the way, the free-range cows are very nutritious. Madam Speaker, when you take the milk of a free-range cow, it's got a vitamin, the vitamins, or rather the yellow substance. I think it's vitamin D, that gives it. It's called beta-carotene. Well, whenever you see butter, it has that yellow substance. It's very nutritious because the cows are eating the greens, green grass, or rather the dry grass when they are just free range. Most of our farmers have those cows. You know, some of us might have a mixture of the zero grazing and the free range cows, but most of our farmers will see value for their cows. Our mothers will see value for the 2 liters or 3 liters that they milk on a daily basis. This will also help end poverty in this country. The biggest problem we have in this country, Madam Speaker, is that we tend to create a dependency syndrome where everyone depends on you. We want a small government. Let the private sector thrive. Let's support the local farmers. Let's ensure that those farmers, when they go into the market, they will not go and sell they divide their 1 liter into 20 shillings a cup. But they can actually be able to sell this milk, and this milk will not come to Nairobi. Value is added into the 1 liter of milk that they buy at 26 shillings or 42 shillings. And when you now remove the butter content, you know, most of the milk, especially for the free range, will have about 3.6 to 4.2% butter content. It will have a protein level of about 3.2 all the way to 4.2. When you remove that butter content and you take that butter and you make butter out of it, or in Maasai we call it a ngorno, or the cream. You take it and then you sell it. The milk which is sold in the street now is skim milk, but it's sold very expensive. So now having this bill, Madam Speaker, and I think for it to be more effective and for it to make value, I think the sponsor of this bill, Senator Kwamboka, should incorporate an area where the bill encourages cooperatives, women in an area where there's a local school for them to buy that local milk. We don't want to create a situation where now we've passed a bill and then this big corporation can find room now to start packaging milk for the small kids, and then you now also disfranchise the local community. So we need to focus local, we need to think local and build it. So Madam Speaker, without deliberating so much on this matter, I support the bill and I hope that the Senate will also support the bill. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Masitsa Naomi Shionga. Yeah, please come to the dispatch because of the,
Hello? Okay.
There is a point of order from Senator Wambua here, but please come forward because the microphone doesn't seem to be working. Senator Sakaja, please.
Give me the mic. Oh, thank you. Madam Speaker, I'm standing on a point of order. Seeing as it were, Madam Speaker, that this is just a single section amendment, and I know the interest to speak to this bill is really very high. Madam Speaker, I was going to request whether it would be in order to limit the time that each member takes to contribute to this bill to maybe 3 or 5 minutes, Madam Speaker. I thank you.
That is a request to limit to, how many minutes did you say? 5 minutes.
No, five.
Okay.
Five.
Okay, may I then put a question straight away that will limit the debate to 5 minutes? Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Will as many as of the council say nay? Thank you, the ayes have it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the bill presented here by Senator Kwamboka, and I want to congratulate Senator Kwamboka for coming up with this bill on Basic Education Amendment Bill 2020. Madam Speaker, the objective of this bill is within the boundary of school feeding program, which has tremendous impact across the world, especially for the countries that are implementing or have prioritized this particular bill. Madam Speaker, the bill comes in a time when our government, or when the government funded program or school feeding program the budget has been cut to about 500 million. And Madam Speaker, also in a time when the famous donor World Food Program has suspended the program or the feeding program from our schools. It is therefore my appeal that we support this bill, because since the World Food Program, since the exits of World Food Program, it's going to cripple the system whereby we enroll the enrollment of our children is going to be affected. Is going to be affected tremendously, or is going to be affected in a very great height. Madam Speaker, school feeding program goes beyond the plate of food on our table, and it is in this that we need to realize that there is both benefit when we support this bill and we introduce milk in our schools, because we are not only going to increase the number of children in school, but rather we are also going to increase the intake of the education, especially based on the gender. Also equity, in terms of equity and health and nutrition, we are also going to experience increase or benefit in those areas. Not forgetting the local economies, especially in agricultural sector, that this milk or the school feeding program will introduce or will assist. Madam Speaker, according to World Food Program, the program that has helped Kenya see the heights of education, we see that most of the countries have also emulated this program, and it is in this that we see reports published in January 2019, where World Food Program report shows that India feeds more than 1 million children, Brazil feeds around 48 million, and China 44 million, among others. And these statistics, Madam Speaker, will help us as Kenya, as a government, to know that we need to invest more in our primary schools so as to make the retention level of our children both in primary, hence secondary school and other tertiary education. Madam Speaker, because of time, I want to say that I commend this bill and I support it fully, because the program not only benefits the people who are going to implement it, but benefit the government as a whole, and it's going majorly to benefit those farmers who invest or who are doing investment in both human capital or on both human capital and local economies. Madam Speaker, this will also accelerate county-led demand, especially in job opportunities and capacity building in area of research. Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I fully support this bill, and I congratulate my sister, Senator Beatrice Kwamboka. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I see an intervention from Senator Sakaja. Please come to the...
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to move a motion, but also to contribute. So can I move it, then we vote, then I... Thank you. Madam Speaker, I'm not cunning.
Like bribery.
It is eating two birds with one stone. Madam Speaker, I beg to move that pursuant to Standing Order 15 and Article 171C of the Constitution, that the Senate elects Senator Petronila Were Lukorio to preside over the sittings of the Senate in the absence of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker for the remainder of the day. Madam Speaker, I beg to move, and I would request Senator Mutula to second.
Senator Mutula.
It's not a coincidence that it's Sakaja moving and I'm seconding, or any other business that we have been doing together. But, but I second this motion. It's opportune, and I think Senator Lukorio fits the bill. Thank you. I support.
Thank you, Senators. I now propose the question that pursuant to Standing Order 15 and Article 107(1)(c) of the Constitution, the Senate elects Senator Petronila Were Lukorio to preside over the sitting of the Senate in absence of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker for the remainder of the day. Honorable Senators, this is not a matter affecting counties, so it is going to be by voicemail. I now put the question that pursuant to the Standing Order 15 and Article 107(1)(c) of the Constitution, the Senate elects Senator Petronila Were Lukorio to preside over the sitting of the Senate in the absence of the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker for the remainder of the day. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary say nay? The ayes have it. Where's your point of order? I thought you said a very loud yes.
Yes, I said yes.
And then
it has no relation to what we just voted on by acclamation, Madam Speaker.
Yeah.
But still there's a relation. I just wanted to note that this shows how much this House misses Senator Isaac Maura. He used to take his duties very seriously. So I pray for him that he makes a comeback, because he was a diligent member of the Speaker's panel. If he was here, we wouldn't be having this motion.
I don't know whether that was a point of order or information or what it was. Senator Sakaja Johnson, it's your turn to contribute.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and congratulations to Senator Petronila Were. I believe you are up to the task to preside over the House. Madam Speaker, I want to thank Senator Kwamboka for this bill that seeks to, Madam Speaker, provide for the nutritional well-being of our learners and our children enrolled in pre-primary and primary schools. Madam Speaker, a few months ago, actually in January of this year, I went to visit. I was donating desks to some schools in Dagoretti North constituency in Kawangware. Madam Speaker, when I asked these children, because normally there's excitement and they start shouting, hey, Super Senator is here, whatnot. So I asked them, what would you like? Because normally you'd expect them to say they want some soccer balls, or even if they're ambitious, they'd say we want a school bus. These children said they want food. Madam Speaker, as a parent, I felt heartbroken that due to the COVID crisis and the fact that many of my students in Nairobi and pupils come from informal settlements with a lot of poverty, we have children in school without food. Madam Speaker, I have said time and time again But, and this is not to say there's a better poverty than another one, but urban poverty bites and stings. In Nairobi County, in many of the urban, even the urban areas in your counties, when someone has no food, or rather no money, you will not eat and you'll have no place to stay. Many times in the rural areas, you know, a neighbor will give you what we call a gorogoro of maize. Sometimes where I'm from originally, even the fence can be it's edible. You can cook something. But Madam Speaker, in Nairobi County, in my county, which I can speak about because I am from Nairobi, millions or hundreds of thousands of children are going to school hungry, and when there's nothing in their stomach, there can be nothing that will go into their minds. Madam Speaker, because of that, I have also proposed and published, it's in publication, a National School Lunch Act that will actually address school feeding properly. So I support this because I think this is a precursor. This bill is a precursor. It's talking about milk. But we need a National School Lunch Act, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in the course of that, when I saw that what was happening, Madam Speaker, my office quickly looked at programs that are ongoing, and I was very lucky to meet a lady called Wawera Njiru. Wawera Njiru has a program called Food for Education, where we've partnered with some of my MPs in Nairobi. Today, if you go to Dagoretti South, Mukarara Primary School, parents are involved with the Food for Education and Tap to Eat, and we're feeding 11 schools out of one center, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank Honorable John K.J. Kiari, because he was the one who introduced me to this lady, and we've seen the program that we're partnering with, that at 15 shillings, a child is able to get 650 grams of food, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, because of that, and I was speaking to the principals now when we went to Riruta, discipline has gone up, attendance has gone up, and the children get food, they eat half, and the other half they take home to the other siblings, because there's nothing at home. We are now moving now to Embakasi West. Honorable George Theuri has agreed to partner, and also Honorable Nixon Korir. So, Madam Speaker, I will find time to talk about this, but I don't think there's anything more important than making sure our children's nutritional needs are met. There are studies that have shown that performance goes up, and generally the well-being at that formative stage. Madam Speaker, I want to thank Senator Kwamboka, and I think even before I wait for my bill to get to that stage, I hope she'll accept that we also improve on this. When we grew up in Nairobi, Madam Speaker, we used to wait for the days we get maziwa ya Nyayo, because I am a product of that 844 system, where we got maziwa ya Nyayo in the brown packets. Madam Speaker, those days there would be 100% attendance in class, because we knew on Friday the maziwa ya Nyayo will come and we'll get it. I think we can be more creative. The numbers have gone up. The children who are in school today are much more than those who were there at that time, but with a minimal investment, and the parents would put money into it as well, you know. The capitation we send to schools must include, I want to thank Rockefeller Foundation because they're also doing some research around this. That capitation we send to schools must involve feeding these kids. If you don't feed them, they will get nothing, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, I support this, and I cannot wait for the amendments. I'll propose more amendments, and also for my bill to be fast-tracked. I know I sit in the House Business Committee, but I'll push my colleagues, Mutula and the rest, but we fast-track the National School Lunch Act. It combines, and as I finish, with what Senator Wambua did on mung beans. And it's a stimulus. If you get the farmers from around the schools to bring their product, you're stimulating the economy of that area. If it's in Western, we get the maize. If it's in Kitui, we get the mung beans. If it is in pastoralist areas, etc., we get what is grown locally, and we'll have stimulated the economy, the farmers around, Madam Speaker, and our children will get nutrition. Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your indulgence. Asante.
Thank you, Senator Sakaja, and thank you for the congratulatory message. I'm privileged to sit here to preside over the House today. Yes. And while I'm here, I'm impartial. So I would like to call upon Senator Wambua.
Yes, it's working, sure. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would also want to take this opportunity to congratulate you for the opportunity to sit where you are seated. Madam Speaker, I really and very sincerely want to thank Senator Kwamboka for coming up with this single section amendment, which means a lot, not just to our children, but to the education sector in this country. Madam Speaker, I want to say very few things about this proposed amendment, as I support it fully. Madam Speaker, you know, respect for our children must begin with doing something about what matters most to them. And Madam Speaker, there is nothing that matters to a child a lot more than their nutrition. And away from just talking about it and saying that we care, something needs to be done to demonstrate that duty of care. And I want to thank Senator Kwamboka because she is giving all of us an opportunity to demonstrate a duty of care to our children by providing them with milk. Madam Speaker, these are our children. They are our future. And it behoves us as leaders to take care of them as we prepare them to be responsible citizens. Madam Speaker, there are two things that happened in the education sector that I have talked about before on the floor of this house, and I will talk about those two things again today. Madam Speaker, whatever happened to the National School Feeding Program, the person that is responsible for the death of that program, really that person has done a great disservice to education and to the future of our children, really. Madam Speaker, the second thing was the scheme.
No, you are okay. It's on. It's on.
No, it's off. So I don't know at what point you lost the Senator of Kitui. So my time, Madam Speaker, somebody should do something about it. Because I have to retract a bit and say that I would say the person that, Madam Speaker, is responsible for the death of the National School Feeding Program, that person did a very great disservice to us as a nation and to our children. And the second thing, Madam Speaker, that we must worry and do something about is the Kenya School Equipment Scheme. Because, Madam Speaker, these two programs, one of the most important things that they make sure happened is that the parents will just worry about preparing their children to go to school. And once they get to school, they will get food and they will get rulers and pencils and exercise books, and children will concentrate on learning. Madam Speaker, this amendment, proposed amendment, comes with it a major multiplier effect that, apart from just providing milk to our children, it boosts the farmers in our regions who produce milk, local farmers. It creates jobs for truck drivers, those who deliver the milk to the schools. It provides a ready market for the motor vehicles which are used to deliver that milk. It creates a ready market for fuel and oil products for the vehicles. Madam Speaker, it is a stimulus program in itself. And so I congratulate Senator Kwamboka, and hasten to say, Madam Speaker, that although in the second schedule of our Constitution, pre-primary education is a function of county governments, here is one case where the national government must be fully involved in setting the standards and a policy framework to roll out this program. Madam Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Senator Wambua. Kindly log in again. The system went off briefly, but I already had Senator Mary Senator on. Then she'll be followed by Senator of Nyandarua, Senator Gideon.
Madam Speaker, I rise to support this amendment to the Basic Education Act, which seek to introduce feeding program to the ECD children. Madam Speaker, this amendment will go a long way in improving performance in our schools. Madam Speaker, when these young children are given food, something in between the learning time, they will be able to have good concentration on whatever they are going to be learning, and hence this will go a long way in improving their performance. And again, this feeding program will not only improve performance but also quality of education, because these children will be able to learn and they will be able to observe their time, and they will be attentive even to whatever that is going to be taught in those classes. Madam Speaker, this aspect of feeding program, many of us when we were in our primary schools, we used to long for the lunch hour so that you can be given a packet of milk, and that could really motivate many of us to attend school. So this feeding program will also reduce absenteeism. Many of our children, most of the time, even pretend not to be feeling well because they are feeling hungry and they will be bored in school. And so feeding program will also improve attendance in school, and it will reduce absenteeism. The feeding program also will help those parents who are, instead of cooking lunch for their children and waiting in the house to cook and attend these young children, they will be able to be doing other farm activities, other economic activities, and therefore this will release those wife who will be attending other things to get extra time to attend to other economical activities. The feeding program also, Madam Speaker, will help, as many have said, it will help our small-scale farmers who are dairy farmers, livestock keepers. They will get market for their milk, and therefore this will go a long way in helping our farmers to earn a living through selling this milk to our different learning institutions. Madam Speaker, finally, feeding program will also help our children in terms of improving their health status. Many of our young children, and especially from urban areas, who have no three meals in a day, will be able to have at least a small packet of milk in school, which will go a long way in improving their health. And therefore, Madam Speaker, I think this is a very timely amendment to the Basic Education Act, and I only want to urge members to pass this amendment, and I rise to support the amendment to the bill. I support, and I want to congratulate my sister for having thought of this very important amendment.
Thank you, Marianne. Senator Gideon. You're okay now? No, you're okay. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. My dear friend, Senator Kalonzo, was trying to confuse me. Mutura Kalonzo. But he has not managed. Madam Speaker, I thank Senator Kwaboka for introducing these amendments to this House. I think this is the best thing that this House is going to debate this year. Madam Speaker, unfortunately, we have a funny country called Kenya. Kenya has billionaires who are not even 1,000 against very poor people who cannot afford a meal, running to 47 million. There are people in this country who sleep without eating, children who sleep without food. And Madam Speaker, if this school milk feeding program is introduced to this to schools, the primary schools, and those who have not gone to primary schools, I think it's going to help this country. We are talking of a Kenya that is made of very rich individuals who can even buy their children very expensive cars. We are talking of others who sleep without eating, not because they don't want to eat, because they cannot afford it. So it is incumbent upon government to ensure that those children are fed, even with the school milk. That would be good enough for them to be able to follow the teaching in schools. Madam Speaker, this can be a very small budget, in my view, considering how much money goes into corruption. We have not been able to arrest corruption in this country. We have been rightly told that this country loses 2 billion shillings a day. That is a lot of money. We do not even need to go to that level of the 2 billion. We only need to control corruption to ensure that corruption goes below 10%, and then think of feeding these children, and we shall have the money, we shall have all that it takes to ensure that our children are well taken care of and their health is good because they are being fed with milk. Madam Speaker, very clever, very intelligent, very bright children who fall by the way because of the conditions that they have been put to. These children, if they are given literal feeding, like even one packet a day, they could even perhaps be the presidents of this country tomorrow. So, Madam Speaker, apart from that, the school feeding, milk feeding program would improve the economy of this country. Madam Speaker, I come from livestock farmers county, that is Nyandarua County. We have a lot of livestock, we have a lot of milk, and sometimes because of lack of market, that milk is poured on the ground because we have no market, and you are milking tomorrow, you are milking the day after. So this milk can find its own market and would improve the economy of livestock farmers, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let us not assume things. Madam Speaker, we have children who cannot be able to afford, whose parents cannot be able to afford 2 meals a day. And there are very many in this country. We have a lot of money going out the treasury and then adds up to very corrupt people. So if we ensure that corruption is brought down.
Your time is up, Senator. Next time, Senator. Senator Naomi Wako Jilo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. May I also take this opportunity to congratulate you for taking that role up, and it is my prayer that you will do it to your best. Madam Speaker, I stand to support this bill on Basic Education Amendment Bill 2021. As I also congratulate Senator Kwamboka, my sister, for coming up with this very relevant bill. Madam Speaker, for those of us who come from dry areas, and especially northern part of Kenya, we have all the reasons to support this bill. As you know, in that part of the world or of the country, our people are pastoralists and they move from one place to the other. As they do that, their children suffer. And most of the time, they cannot even afford 2 meals. So milk is a special gift that can motivate both the parents and the children. And I support this bill, as I said, because the bill seeks to amend the Basic Education Act to ensure that school-going children in Kenya are provided with milk. For a pastoralist, that is the best gift. And I pray that our president will support this, because we have always supported him, and when he signs this, I'm sure the pastoralist will stand with him. So, Madam Speaker, I support this bill because once it is implemented, the dairy sector will also be promoted because majority of the people are small-scale farmers. They have invested a lot in dairy, and by selling their milk, they'll be able to generate some good income. We'll be able to also employ some young people or even help one another. So I support the bill, as I said, and again, the people's health will be improved. The issue of malnutrition will not be there, and the children will be strong enough. Their concentration level in class will be high, and their performance at the end of the day will be highly improved, and the children will perform very well. Madam Speaker, this will also help the teachers as they teach the children, because the children will be able to attend. As I said, this will be a kind of motivator. Madam Speaker, I don't want my time to end before I make my last point. I just want to propose that as we implement this in every county, we can set up a milk packaging program whereby all the farmers or all the milk produced in that county can be sold in that county, can be packaged in that county, and then the children who go to school there can drink their own milk. That will promote the people at the grassroots. That will also help them to be more innovative, and that will also give business to our counties. Madam Speaker, I fully support this bill, and it is my prayer that very soon it will be implemented and our children will benefit. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Naomi Wako. Senator Sylvia Kasanga Mweni.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity also to add my voice. Senator Kwamboka, thank you very much for this amendment. And a lot already has been said, Madam Speaker. But, you know, these are some of the things that you wonder why even it has to be put in legislation. Because there's been precedents. We are all children of Maziwa ya Nyayo. And I believe the way we are strong, we persevere, we are hardworking, we are go-getters, those of us who went through 844. And it is because of this background of the healthy lifestyle we had when we drank Maziwa ya Nyayo, which was distributed without fear and favor to each and every child, regardless of their background and their home. And you know, these are things that have been done before. So why can't they just be done? Must it go through a legislation for our children to be given this kind of attention that Senator Kwamboka is shouting here for? And I really commend you, Senator. You know, I say, and I was speaking at a platform another day, and I wondered, where is the place of the child in our society today? Actually, our children are very vulnerable. And we as leaders, I think we have a lot of more work to do. And truly speaking, Madam Speaker, there are nations that have turned themselves around from poverty into global superpowers just by concentrating on educating their children and making sure their children are healthy. And within less than even 10 years, you've turned an entire society around. And you know, this is where I wonder, how serious are we about leading our country into becoming a serious global player? If anything, sometimes I feel like we are actually retrogressing and moving backwards. Just the other day, this house here, I brought a statement to do with the National Plan of Action Against Sexual Abuse on Children. A plan of action that is gathering dust somewhere in this government. And then you wonder, then how much are we really giving priority to our children? How much are we giving priority to investment for the future? And let me also add this one, because it has been a big conversation going on. The social determinants of mental health. When it comes to children, where mental health actually starts when children are young, largely is to do with diet and nutrition, Madam Speaker. So our school, our Ministry of Education, and all the other ministries that have to do with children must realize, in as much as we have free education, which is very commendable, we must mop up all the children, get them from home, let them go to school at pre-primary and primary level, as well as secondary school. But at the same time, we must ensure that they are healthy and they have nutrition. This will go towards their mental wellness, concentration in school, and they are the ones who become the battalions or that this country needs to take this country to the next global level. So Senator Kwamboka, I thank you for this, and whatever other bill that is coming to ensure that our children are fed while in school at all times, I commend that effort, Madam Speaker. And congratulations, Madam Speaker, as well, for sitting on that seat. You deserve it. You're very able. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Senator Sylvia Kasanga. Senator Aaron Cheriot, Kirui.
You almost got it right, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to join the rest of my colleagues in congratulating our colleague, Senator Kwamboka, for a job well done. This is a very good proposal, by the way. In fact, that's why I was among those who were protesting earlier when there was the motion for the reduction of time, because I know there's a lot that this bill that we can say about this bill. But then I am a good Democrat, so I agree with the common wisdom of the entire House. But I want to congratulate her for this very fair proposal on something that I believe is for the record books, that finally, when the history books are written and the history of the 12th Parliament is noted down of the things that we are able to achieve and the proposals that we made on how to move our country forward, this particular one is one of the bills that will be noted as a progressive one. Because, Madam Speaker, the health of our children and their overall well-being is something that as a country we have begun to neglect and not treat with the serious consideration that it deserves. If you compare how the government, how society, how our own parents are considered and ensure that as a child you're well-fed, well-educated, in a better environment, you cannot compare that with what we are serving to the modern-day child. Madam Speaker, if it was possible back in the day to feed children, to ensure that public education was working, virtually all of us in this house are products of public education. None of us went to these academies that we speak about today, but here we are doing so well. So what Senator Kwamboka is reminding us is that we can still go back to the history books and learn the lessons, the things that used to work back in the day, and ensure that basic education still thrives, so that you do not have to take your kid to a particular academy, so that to ensure that something as basic, just as being fed. Can you imagine, Madam Speaker, even you as a senator, if it is possible to sit on that chair and follow debate properly if you are not properly fed? Yet unfortunately, more than half of the students who sit in our primary schools are not guaranteed. Actually, the statistics are a little bit higher than half of them are not assured of more than 2 meals in a single day. You heard Senator Sakaja mention about this particular project that is being undertaken in Dagoretti South by Honorable KJ John Kiari. that ensures that kids are fed. But even in that initiative and that program, those kids are mindful of the rest of their siblings. That in that package of 600 grams of food, they only take perhaps a quarter of it and take the rest home to share with the rest of their children. That tells you that as parents, as the elders, or as the people responsible, we have failed in our responsibilities, that it's now children actually who are looking out for each other. This is unfortunate and ought not to be the case. I most sincerely do hope that once we have passed this particular bill and it is sent to the lower house for their concurrence as well, that we can quickly make it to be enacted to be part and parcel of our laws, that the county governments will set aside the requisite funds so that we ensure. And in there also lies a business opportunity, as many of our colleague senators have observed in their contributions, Madam Speaker, that it is actually possible in a particular county that once you have generated the necessary demand, that you are assured of a market. The number of primary schools, for example, that are in a particular market are ready to purchase, then I'm sure this is what you are talking about when you say value-based agriculture, that we shall ensure that our farmers are trained to know that now there is actually an assured market for their milk, which is something that many of them are not very certain about, because the prices have been dwindling with a dairy sector that is hugely under monopoly influence in the country. But now this is another avenue that is being created for dairy farmers, which I want to believe. There is no part of this country that you'll go to and you'll not find dairy farmers. I'm sure with the passage of this particular bill, it will generate more interest, so that many of the people, many of the young people who are still struggling and considering whether agriculture can generate the necessary resources for them, this is now the opportunity. So congratulations, Senator Kwaboka. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Cheriot Kipkirui. Next will be Senator Musuruve. In the meantime, Senator Samson Ongeri to prepare. He's joining us virtually.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. And before I continue, I'd like to congratulate you for this position, and I hope it will persist. It should not be the last one. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank Senator Kwamboka for coming up with this bill, and it is a bill that is timely. It is coming at a time when the entire globe, the whole world, is looking for ways and means of ensuring that every child is in school, and that no child, whether a boy or a girl, is in school. And you're not only talking about being in school, but this bill will seek to ensure that even the child who is in school will be retained. Because children can go to school, but retaining them in school is another issue. So the issue of nutrition is very important. When we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, every human being has a need. And it has to start from the basic. There's no way you can aspire for, a need that is higher on the hierarchy if you have not satisfied that basic need. For every child that goes to school, the basic need is nutrition first. Then after that, education follows. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that the fact that this bill is proposing that all children should have food, nutrition, it is a plus for us as a country, and we have to look for mechanisms of ensuring that this bill sees the light of the day, and that money is set aside for the purpose of ensuring that every child that goes to school, whether he comes from a disadvantaged family, whether he comes from, is hard to reach, is able to get food, Honorable Speaker. And I want to be very candid on the floor of this House, that there are so many children, millions of children, who are not able to get even a meal in the morning. Some of them drink porridge in the morning, lunchtime, evening, some do not take anything, not even water, Honorable Speaker. So this bill is going to ensure that the government is brought into account, and the government should be brought to account to ensure that it's resourcing education, is putting a lot of money into education. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, it is coming at a time when our President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is co-hosting all leaders globally to ensure that he's rallying these leaders to ensure that they're donating, they're fundraising for the purpose of education. Honorable Speaker, this money is supposed to go to low-income countries like Kenya. And if they're going to low-income countries, then a lot of funds needs to be put aside to ensure that no child is left behind, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, when it comes to resourcing for education financing, it should be over 20%. And this money should start from the national government, cascade to the county governments, Honorable Speaker. We cannot compromise the lives of our children, Honorable Speaker. We have to look for ways and means of ensuring that our children love education, Honorable Speaker. I am a product of Nyayo Milk. And I remember, Honorable Speaker, I did not come from an endowed family, but that alone kept me in school, Honorable Speaker. And I am where I am because I was retained in school, Honorable Speaker. So there's need for us to look for a mechanism of ensuring that we are reaching the hard to reach children. Those children who come from disadvantaged families, those children who cannot even have bread on their table, they cannot have milk on their table, they cannot have even uji on their table. Let us retain them in the school system, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, this is a good bill, but it should not be a bill that cartels are waiting for it to just mature, and then they come in with their tenders and all that, Honorable Speaker. It should be a bill that should also empower county governments, Honorable Speaker, so that when it comes to financing, county governments should look for mechanisms of ensuring that they are bringing all the milk in the counties and giving it to the children. That way they are going to boost the economy of their counties, Honorable Speaker. Even the farmers in those counties will benefit, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say, Honorable Speaker, Senator Gideon Moi came up with a local content bill. And I think, Honorable Speaker, and I want to say to also Senator Komboka, there's a need to really see how to craft, a sentence that will entail that all the milk should come from that county, Honorable Speaker. Because I suppose that there's milk that will come from Uganda, from Tanzania, from wherever, and yet this bill is supposed to benefit the people of Kenya, the children of Kenya. So I want to say, Honorable Speaker, and I'm proposing to Senator Komboka to just ensure that this bill is not actually abused by cartels who are actually waiting so that they benefit from the Honorable Speaker. When you look at HIV benefits to even children.
Your time is up, Senator Msuruve. Thank you for that passionate presentation. And you brought up quite a number of issues, for example, having milk for school produced in the counties to promote the economies of our country. And that's the essence of devolution. Thank you very much. And now virtually we have Senator Samson Ongeri. Senator Ongeri, he's online. As he prepares himself to get back online, Senator Langat Christopher Andrew.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I would also like to start with congratulating you in your position as of now. I want to support this particular amendment bill on basic education because it is very important, Madam Speaker. I want to say, first of all, the provision of milk at this stage of our children, this is the time whereby they are at their formative stages, where they require very important balanced diet for their physical growth and intellectual growth. So it is so important, Madam Speaker, for every nation to provide this particular milk at this particular stage, because it will help our children to develop not only physically but also cognitively. It's so important to develop these children at this particular formative stage, Madam Speaker, because unless this particular element of milk is provided at this stage, it will hamper them intellectually in their future. So it is so important, and we should not take it lightly, Madam Speaker, because this is the stage where children requires the development requires this particular supplement for their intellectual growth and more so in the development of their bones. You know, milk has an element of calcium, which is very important to these particular children at their formative stage, especially in the development of strong bones. So this is a very important bill that all of us should take it seriously, Madam Speaker. Secondly, it will also provide market for our milk locally. I want to support Senator Muzuruve when she said that it should not be a high time for the cartels to prepare such that after this particular bill has been accepted to become an act, it becomes their high time to import milk from other countries that has been processed and left to stay in stores for a long time. That might also bring a lot of health problems to our children. It should actually be restricted to supporting farmers in our country. We've seen farmers from various parts of this country, especially the pastoral communities and the Rift Valley region, where their milk has never been having good market. So I do support this particular bill because it will provide an internal market for our milk products in this particular country, which also will support the creation of employment to so many people who will actually go into dairy farming seriously because this will provide their livelihoods. So this is a very important bill, Madam Speaker, that we should all support it. Another one is that malnutrition in this country is very real. Me, I've witnessed this, especially when I was a lecturer in Kericho Teachers College. We used to go to schools assessing our teachers. Very early in the morning, you could more often than not see children who are really suffering. You could see malnutritionized children. Physically, their concentration level in class so low, most of them could sleep as early as 8 in the morning. So I tend to say that during the time when we was in school and this particular program was in place, I'm telling you, we were very healthy. Even during the rainy season, you could see children very healthy, playing in the field, and you could actually be happy about it. So I want to say that this particular program will ensure effective enrollment. There are so many children who are not able to go to school, especially here in Nairobi, in slums areas, because of lack of food. So this program will ensure effective enrollment in our schools and also retention. There are so many children who are not able to continue in their basic education programs normally because of shortage of food. So I'm so sure that the moment this particular program comes into existence, it will enhance effective enrollment and retention of our children in school. I also want to add that this particular bill is so important, Madam Speaker, because remember very well that our children in school, especially those particular young ones, are unable to concentrate very well and effectively in their classes.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Langat. Senator. Next is Senator Mudhama Agnes Kavindu.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. And I want to, first of all, start by congratulating you for where you are sitting. And it's my prayer that it will not be the last time, it will be just but a beginning for you. I also take this opportunity to congratulate Okwamboga, Senator Okwamboga, for this amendment bill of basic education. And I want to contribute by saying many children lack enough milk, even as from a very young, tender age. Especially if a mother gives birth and the child dies, and the mother dies, the child is left, that child does not get enough milk. And so, and even many of them, those who come from very poor families, they are fed with this the stuff from the very tender age up to about 2 years. And after 2 years, they stop getting enough milk because the parents cannot afford. So bringing this milk back to the school will be very good. Also, for the concentration of the children in school, it will really help. It will also be good for the farmers. When they sell the milk, they'll get money. Many of the people will get jobs through the milk. And I want to say, Madam Speaker, I want to congratulate Wakwamboga for this very important bill. And I want to concur with the rest of the senators that the milk should be provided from the counties unless the counties does not have enough to give to supply to the schools. But otherwise, it should come from there. We should also be careful, Kwamboga, as you write, that we will not get milk that has preservatives, because a lot of it will also affect our children and cause more other health problems. I want to thank you, and I want to say that this is a very important bill, and I pray that it will pass and it will be implemented. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Kavindu. Senator Ali Abdullahi Ibrahim.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I will not complain. Thank you, Senator Kwamboga. Thank you very much. I think most members have talked about the importance of the amendment, and I totally agree with it and support it fully. What I want just to mention, Madam Speaker, is that everybody is talking about cartels. This country has this problem, and they always make sure that when something comes up, anything good that comes up, some people take advantage. And they will steal from these young children in this country. This is the fear I have. For the pre-primary, the county government will take care of it, and most likely that's where the amount of milk can be used from the counties, especially for those ones which don't have a lot of milk. Then they can use it for the pre-primary schools. That's where it's needed. But for when you say about all primary schools, most likely some big people with big factories will take over. They will import a lot of powdered milk from outside the country, which has overstayed, and which is in some other countries which has overstayed, which is very cheap. And then they will say that this is fresh milk, which is not the case. I don't know what we can do about it, but I think the people have to be enlightened, and we make sure that the UHT which will come, because they will just dissolve it and put it in some packets and distribute it. So unless we are sure of the type of milk which is available, we might even poison our children, which is very dangerous to this kind to us and to the young ones. As Dr. Langata said, that when they are at that age is when they require proper nutrients. And if they are given milk which is not properly, which has not proper nutrients, and some of the things have been removed already, then it might not be very useful. But all in all, you have heard people talk about Nyayo milk. I was not part of that. But it has helped a lot of children. And whatever people used to say about Moi has done well when it comes to education. Very well, I would say. And even adults cannot sit in meetings when they are hungry. They start yawning and they start doing this, and the mind goes, what about a child who is hungry? They can never concentrate on anything. But when children are fed proper, they concentrate in the class very well, they go and play outside very well, they grow very well. And in the end result, they do very well in class and in school as well. So, Madam Speaker, I want to support those who say that the milk should come from locally, so that if there is extra which is required, then it can come from outside. But it has to be stated properly, Senator Kwamboga, even if you need to add something to this letter, that the milk for the pre-primary and the early years of primary school should be from local. Then if the milk is not enough, then it can be imported from the adjoining counties or from the other parts of the country. But if we allow some particular people You know, there's already some sort of monopoly in this country, even right now. So the monopoly will just continue, and some few individuals will get it. Will get the contracts from the national government and provide milk everywhere. And you know the way things are done. You can remember, you know even what's happening with the school feeding program presently. It is supposed to be there, but those chakulas don't reach the children. From here, Ministry of Education, a quota goes. When it goes to the county, another quota goes. When it goes to the teachers themselves, the headmasters, another quota goes. So possibly 20% of the school feeding program reaches the people who require to take it. And I hope the milk will not follow that suit. I remember one time there's this issue of, you know, they used to say food for these areas, remote areas and arid areas. There used to be some food which was given by the national government. And when I became an MP some time back, I went to, four of us from Wajir went to see the DC and told him, what you do, instead of bringing this maize here, and you say 1,000 per constituency, why don't you give us the milk, I mean the money, so that we do something for the youth groups and women groups? Nobody went. He agreed. We wrote a letter from the Wajir, and it was brought here.
I'll give you one more minute. You conclude.
When we came to see the PS, thank you. When we came to see the PS with that letter from the district commissioner, you know what he told us? No, we can't do anything because some of this food is coming from one food program. This one is a donation. Is this? And he completely rubbished us. And we were thinking that time, because they were selling per 1,000 per bag. We were saying if it is 4 million and there was no CDF or anything, we say give every constituency 4 million per month. Then the other constituencies 4 million. That it will have done a lot of good job. But why, when we came here, we are told that cannot happen, because they are the ones who are using it and they were eating it. From here, it goes there, certain amount, you know. So this is what is the problem in this country. As Senator Kasanga said, we even wonder why we talk of leadership. What does this country do? What do the leaders do? Yeah? Our people are going down the drain. We are suffering every day. There is no improvement in this country. As she said, we are going backwards. We are not going forward. So, Madam Speaker, I hope the people who are listening to what we are saying today will do the right thing in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator Dr. Abdullahi, for reminding us about cartels and questioning the source of milk. And Senator Kwamboka, you may have to consider some of these amendments proposed by members. Next is Senator Hagura. Godan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'd like to thank Senator Kwamboka for coming
Nissan Serena ndio hii, na unaweza kuwa wewe ndio tunapikia simu. Kodi ya Nissan Serena ni NS, alafu kisha kwenye amount ni 50 bob. Hii Nissan Serena tunakupatia na shilingi 50.
Kujiunga na QuickBid ni rahisi. Enda kwenye M-Pesa, bonyeza paybill, kisha weka business number 4032353. Kwenye account weka kodi ya bidhaa unayotaka na bid yako ya chini zaidi, kwa mfano TV 16. Kisha weka shilingi 20 tu kama idadi yako. Weka bid yako pia kwenye www.quickbid.co.ke. Kumbuka, bid ya chini zaidi ya kipekee ndio hununua. QuickBid, bidhaa bora kwa bei ya chini.
From my father's house to the land I will show you. Oh God, give me the strength to do what I must.
Abraham, do not harm your child. For now I know that you fear God, seeing that you've not withheld your son.
What does this number mean to you? A pack leader? A winner? Or just a number? To us, it means freshness, boldness, vibrancy and heritage. That's why at KBC Channel 1, we make it easier for you to pop up your family entertainment to a fresh, exciting and colorful bouquet.
Shiny eye, you never see something.